You have not set anything on fire today, have you?
Why, hello, Hunter.
Next thing I know, the Sanctum is airborne and covered in slime.
I don't get it. Strange couldn't just magic his way in?
Something about the whole alien thing threw off his mojo.
Now?
Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The Forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered, well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two were such skilled smithies.
Yep, I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on. Still think it could have used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
You think everything could benefit from a cloak?
I do not.
Oh, I've heard the things you whisper to your cape when you think no one's listening.
Ah, the joys of sharing a workspace. And now, have you noticed cloak has helped me save the universe from extinction on countless occasions?
Could you at least tell it to stop rearranging things on my side of the cave?
I have, but it considers you something of a slob.
You know, I have a great psychiatrist in the city. Maybe you should talk to him. Although,
Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
You lost much yesterday, Doctor. I am the one who should be asking you how you are feeling.
I appreciate that, Hunter. I admit I did not expect the child of Lilith to have the capacity for such empathy. And you're right, of course. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The Sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
I would rather stand down a horde of rampaging Lilin than face one of Agatha's mathematics puzzles. Sacred or not, geometry be damned.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't my least favorite requirement in pre-med. Still, if only I had studied harder, I would have reached some deeper understanding that could have altered this outcome.
We will alter this outcome, Doctor.
On that, we most certainly agree, Hunter. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday, it was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
My mother has a gift for bringing out the worst in people.
Yes, and in this case, I happen to be the direct victim of her ambition. I fear the Sanctum may never be the same.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
It is nice having an armorer on demand.
Anytime. I tried to make this version a little less palatable to that symbiote thing. Was this close to making it menthol flavored. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time. Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at ye old demon hunting school, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning. But Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it.
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change? Hey, Hunter. Analyzing. How does this look?
Hunter, when you have a minute, come meet me in the yard. Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
None.
All right then. Back again. Do your thing.
Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers, but you can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding, Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
Every lock has its key.
True, if only a man-eating alien demon monster hadn't eaten ours. But that got me thinking. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra, they've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
Just how far are you willing to go, Captain?
Let's just say that I'm willing to unleash the power of a quantum singularity white hole on them if need be.
A quantum what?
You'll see. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
What's up?
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
How did you become a Dhampir?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
Thanks, Blade.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say Gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come...
The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the Gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Oh, wait, you're being serious?
We should be able to track this new Gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
Multi-million-dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.
It was just recently that the Hudson Yards Development Restoration Association purchased this entire block.
Let's see. Trench coat, sunglasses.
Gamma signatures and unstable isotopes aren't really in my wheelhouse, so we'll be patching Dr. Banner through from Avengers Tower once you reach the other side.
Probably can scratch abandoned off the description of this place. You seeing this, Bruce? Getting all sorts of weird down there.
Johann Fenhoff. That hack. I heard he was dead. Well, hoped is perhaps the more accurate description.
Calls himself Faustus now. Hydra's resident mad scientist.
Not just Hydras. Liliths. That's magic coming from those crates. I can feel it.
Yeah? How about gamma radiation? You feeling that too? Because that's some pretty evil-looking Hydra tech down there.
Gamma and magic.
Gonna need you to use your science brain on this one, Bruce.
We need to approach this situation carefully. Combining those energies is an explosive proposition at best. Think scalpel, not hammer. Stealth, not strength.
Yeah, I don't do stealth.
Kill them.
Faust is a bit of a crackpot, but his fundamental science must be sound. The device would have surely exploded otherwise after your display, Carol.
Learned it by watching you, Bruce.
How invigorating. Hell. One more time.
No more games.
I think they can arrest you for that in New York, Blade.
Let's do this.
So that's how that works.
You had your chance to escape. Weak, even for Hydra.
Lucky shot.
They just don't know when to quit.
I've never been one to buy into the science of magic, but the data I'm seeing is hard to ignore. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio.
You know you're talking to a vampire, an alien hybrid, and a resurrected demon hunter, right? They're mine.
Nice move.
You are lucky to still be breathing. You were too weak for this fight.
Go! Now! Quickly!
Let's go, go, go!
The
perfect opportunity to field test Mother's device. Get her!
For the record, Bruce, I did not smash that thing.
Noted, Carol. Perhaps you might direct all that energy towards your newfound adversaries instead. And the mysterious cargo they're attempting to escape with?
Watch me.
Now that was something.
Ready up. Ouch.
Was that truly your best?
By her command.
Lost my focus here.
We got company.
Preliminary analysis of the blast confirms high levels of gamma and various unknown energies.
Unknown to you, there is dark magic at work here. Let Hydra escape with it. Hydra standards have fallen a great deal.
I'm still in my prime.
One less thing to worry about. Approximately 16,342 more to go. I suggest starting with the remaining Hydra forces in your vicinity.
We will never forsake her.
Crystal clear, we won't be able to recreate Faustus's experiment or track potential future variance gamma signatures without a baseline resonant sample from his initial occult catalyst.
Got it. Stop the truck.
Playtime's over. It's weirdos like these that give people like us a bad reputation. That's a neat trick. Never seen that before.
I'm on it.
That's one hell of a move.
Regroup at position Tango.
These delays can be quite frustrating. Infuriating, even. I suppose by now I'd normally be tromping through the warehouse, hurling the puny truck at the moon.
Don't worry, Bruce. I've got a pair of torn purple pants with your name on them.
There was a time when Lilith had the highest of standards for her minions. That time has clearly passed. You have earned this. Your mother abandons you.
We've done it!
What is this thing?
Bad guy crate, full of bad guy stuff.
I know those symbols. from the time of the first hunt. That glyph means barrier, that one almighty. Something, something, gods and demons.
So a spooky bad guy crate.
Very spooky. Designed to contain powerful magic. Be careful.
Got it. Don't cross the streams.
Never do. How about we get this thing back to the Abbey and see for ourselves? Nice job out there, kid. I mean, I didn't get Hydra bombed until my 10th run with the Avengers.
Kid, you do know that I'm a good 3 centuries older than you, right?
Then you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Abbey tournament tonight.
Sure about that? Last one got a little heated.
The Eternal Spirits of Vengeance take technical fouls very seriously, especially in the fourth quarter.
Forget it. Tonight is movie night.
It is always movie night.
Exactly.
Wow, out of jail again? Who made this game? Wilson Fisk?
Well, if parking is free, clearly no one from Manhattan.
You know what they say? All work and no play is how we ended up with Ultron. Come on. You should hang out.
I should rest. Another time. Let me see. How did this work again?
You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of One speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes.
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask Later Magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little? Despite almost getting blown up, it seems you did pretty well out there. Maybe there's hope for the world yet. I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Was your father there for you when you found out?
Dad was evil too. Long story, lots of drama. There was a cool dinosaur. I'll fill you in later. Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
Lilith gave birth to me, but Caretaker was my true mother.
Right, so your adoptive mom raised you to kill your birth mom. You'll fit in perfectly. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. Can we do it again? So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the Staff of One, or who were the Runaways?
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The Staff of One interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the Staff of One functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of, and not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively. Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
To stand still is to move back.
You got that one from Agatha. She used to say it all the time. I always preferred if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Used to.
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... she's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
Agatha's power. How could she be... gone?
She put her trust in the wrong person. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Doctor Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
I do not envy you. That must have been a difficult decision.
It's my job to make tough calls. I'm not popular for it, I know. But strong leadership requires risking being unliked. Wanda, Agatha. It seems we have lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen?
Hello, my sweet girl.
ominous-looking portal is known as a Blood Gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Bloodgate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
That is something.
There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtor.
Sarah? Caretaker was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference.
And this is my challenge?
Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtor was sometimes called the Giver of Justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
You were too weak for this fight. Your mother abandons you. Some for the rest of us. Now that was something. I am impressed. They cannot possibly match your strength. My call. saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but mindless beasts. Don't hesitate to attack. They certainly won't. Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting. Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtur for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there?
Noble Ashtur guides my hand.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate.
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a we in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever is in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Approach the anvil, Hunter. We do not have time to spare.
What is this?
How may the Sorcerer Supreme assist you? By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within. It's probably not the object of power you were hoping for. I have always found that area of research interesting.
Got more coil for me? Just, give me a minute. What do you think? How long did you say you were exposed to this thing? It's probably fine.
Hey, Hunter, got a sec to spare?